Adam, that was a big battle, that wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly what we expected it to be. Thought it'd be a tight game. Set plays massively important, probably for both teams. Long throws for both teams. Felt we played some really good football in the first half, especially. Second half didn't really use the ball well enough. Maybe a little bit of nervousness. You know, it takes a little bit of courage to try and play and move the ball when, like, obviously you're in a game where the kind of stakes are pretty high. But the players, other than scoring, the players did everything that we asked them to do. We've had a good week this week prepping for this game, and we've just not obviously done enough to win it. But I felt we performed, you know, very well against a very, you know, good team. So obviously, you know, we wanted to win the game, but I don't think a draw's a disastrous result for us either, because it's pretty much as you were.
So a lot resting on it for both sides. So it was always going to be that kind of encounter.
Yeah, it was always going to be a tight, cagey game. You know, our plan was we wanted to win the game to 0. Did one part, didn't do the other, but wasn't through a lack of trying. So yeah, it's probably a good point for them coming down here. Keeps them above us, but look, there's 4 games to play, 12 points to play for, and I think that's 5 clean sheets now in our last 6 games. So, you know, we're doing a lot of things really well, and we've just got to keep this little bit of form and momentum that we've got.
You can see why they are difficult to beat. Very tight at the back, aren't they? And work hard in that degree.
Yeah, they always are though. Like I've said it countless times about the likes of them, Brackley, and I've just said it to the players after the game. There, like, obviously, you know, it's not a little bit of disappointment because we've drawn the game, but generally the teams that finish in, you know, top end of any league, it's the ones that defensively are the best, and they're always defensively one of the best in the league, and we've conceded fewer goals than them, so we must be doing something right. But obviously the hardest thing to do in the game is to put it in the opposition's goal, and good teams like them, they make that very difficult to do. And, you know, we came close a few times, didn't quite do enough, but it's important that when you don't win that you don't lose, and we just take the point, and it just keeps our little run going, really.
Of the chances that did arise, I mean, Josh Amami probably at the majority in the second half. It was a decent save that prevented him from scoring. Yeah,
it's probably, off memory, probably the closest we came in the second half. I thought we had some decent, like, openings in that first half as well. Probably the one where Warby's kind of come inside on his right foot. I mean, you see him yesterday in training, you know, just sticking them away, and just probably didn't get enough on it. But look, you know, it wasn't a game littered with big chances, but that's probably just both teams being really organised, defensively sound, and cancelling one another out for large parts. And usually, like these you know, games, they are a little bit like a game of chess. It requires discipline and concentration, and I felt the players, you know, performed that side of it, you know, well today. And we've just got to try and, you know, win our next game.
I guess if you're not going to win, make sure you don't lose.
Absolutely, yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think that's what's clean sheets now against. I think we had that little bit of a bad run where we got beat at Darlington, Hereford here, Kidderminster away where we were poor. I think since then we've won at Southport, beat South Shields, won away at Buxton, won away at Leamington, drawn with Brackley, who were a point off top, drawn with these, who were always in the playoffs. So, you know, we're in good form outside of that Spennymoor game. We're in good form, and we're flipping between different systems and finding ways to get results. And if we do that, then we've got a chance.
Man of the match was Gold on Mateo, and quite rightly, he was superb today.
Yeah, I mean, I said to him at half time, that's the best 45-minute performance that I've seen you play all season. You know, but obviously, you know, I'm critical of Gold because I expect a lot from him. But I need to see more of that. You know, that's probably when I get frustrated, because I know what he is capable of. I mean, the first half there he dominated. three centre halves single-handedly. And not only was he a threat when we went around him, bringing others into play, winning flick-ons, helping us get up the pitch, but he was colossal at times in our box. And you know, you're in a position then where you think, you know, you've got Johnny on the bench. You know, yeah, it's one of them. Do you change to try and win it, but then you lose goals, presence, and physicality. You know, against a team that loves to put the ball in your box, and you know, he won a massive header off one of their corners late on. So I think it was the right thing to do to leave him on. And he deserved to stay on the pitch because I thought he had a really good game, but I want to see more of it.
Somebody who did certainly enjoy it was Carl McFadden. That was his sort of game, wasn't it?
Well, I've said it the other week, he's one of the best centre halves in the league for me. You know, the difference generally when he comes out of the team, our results dip. So, you know, he's a vitally important member of our team, and yeah, I thought he was tremendous against, you know, Chorley, who's a big, rangy lad. You know, he runs behind, he's good with his feet, he's a threat in the air. But I thought him and Tom both did well today.
It's unfortunate after such a decent performance, a lot of the talking points have come off the pitch with the chairman's programme notes about the financial difficulties. What's the situation with that? Were you aware of that coming into the game, or the situation?
I don't think I prefer to just talk about the game, if I'm being honest. You know, it's not. Listen, it's something that it doesn't bother me, to be honest. It's out of my control and it's above my remit. So, just, you know, it was like this in January last year when we were bottom of the league, and you know, the chairman always finds a way, and I have that trust in him. So it's not an issue for me, and it's not an issue for the players, and you know, we crack on.
Like I say, you know, could something like his notes, they could have affected the players if the players had read them before the game.
Yeah, they could. Well, they could, and that's why I spoke to him last night and said I don't want you putting any programmes in the home changing room, because it's my job to protect the players, and I'll do that like my life depends on it, because that's my job. You know, they don't need to be reading nonsense like that before a game. You know, but me and the chairman have that relationship where he speaks honestly and frankly to me, and he has, I think he respects that I do the same to him. So, you know, I told him what I thought, and you know, and he took it on board. But look, I have nothing but respect and trust in the chairman. It's the reason why I came down here, you know, 20 months ago, because he's a really good guy, and he's always got the club's best interests at heart. He's put a lot of his own personal wealth into this club, and he continues to do so, along with obviously Joe. So he'll find a way, because he always does.
And it's ironic now, you go into the last 4 games, you've got 2 matches against teams who are, I believe, already relegated now, because Radcliffe beats Scunny today, which means Needham are down, and obviously 2 home games against teams pushing for the title. So it's a bit chalk and cheese, isn't it, when you've got 2 teams at the bottom, 2 teams at the top?
Well, yeah, I guess you can look at it like that, but listen, we'll just approach every game and respect every opponent just exactly the same, like we have done all season, and like we always will do. You know, if we go to Farsley next week thinking that it's a certain 3 points, then we'll lose. So it's about mentality and preparing correctly, which we'll do, and hopefully the players will perform, and we can, you know, go up there and get a win, because we do need to go up there and win, but it ain't going to be easy. And you know, in actual fact, if they now have been relegated, then well, 2 thoughts on that. One, they may be playing now with a little bit less pressure, so that could heighten the performance levels of some of their players. And secondly, as you know, the manager that won the Northern Premier League to get them into the National League North, I'm really sad and disappointed to see the suffering that they're having at that club. The supporters they've been suffering all season. You know, some really good people and friends of mine have been treated really poorly, and there's still some really good people left at that football club. So to see them get relegated, it is disappointing, and hopefully they'll be back in this division soon.
Will it suit you better playing at Buxton?
Well, it did 2 weeks ago when we went there and performed really well, and obviously got a really important win. Look, I mean, the pitch here, it's difficult to play on, and that's not a criticism to Ben at all, because he's top draw, and it wouldn't have been anything like it is now had we not had his hard work over the course of the season. But most pitches, or a lot of pitches at the minute, they are, you know, bare and dry, and that makes it difficult to play on. So certainly going to Buxton, where we know it's artificial and you can trust the surface, then hopefully that'll help us be better and more fluid in our play. But it still doesn't guarantee us anything. We've got to go and execute and try and win.
You've still got some very good players sitting in the stands as well. What's the situation with them? They all fit, just not
all fit, just not selected.
But that's not to say you won't change it for next week.
No, I'll do whatever I want.
I always ask about Cody Johnson, but the tackle over there in the first half. Yeah, first half was, I thought, the best tackle in the game, because he got it all right in the penalty area.
Yeah.
Do you think there is an opportunity to keep hold of him? I know Stockport they have him for their 21s and that's about it. Do you think that might happen?
Look, if Cody's available permanently for next season, then 100% I'd want him here, and he knows that, and he's known that since December, January. But you know, he's obviously currently contracted to a League One team that are pushing at the top of League One now as well. So there's probably going to be interest in Cody from clubs in the EFL, maybe bottom end EFL, and certainly National League. So, you know, we might, you know, we'll definitely be in the race, but we're probably going to be back pegging, I'd say, but we'll try.
I guess that part of that depends where you finish up.
Absolutely. I think if we manage to get out of this league, then we've probably got a better chance than if we stay in this league, because Cody wants to play as high as he can, as should every player. We've got a bit of work to do to hopefully make that a reality, and we'll see.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.